Cox Bazaar.
So Cox Bazar, yes, like that's fine. So that's Cox
Yeah.
Bazar. So Cox, okay, Cox Bazar.
Yes. Yes.
So with the X, I think you're doing a lot better with the X pronunciation. You've improved.
Yeah.
So Cox Bazar, okay, it's the
Yes.
world's longest sea beach. So yeah, and
Oh, how distant?
so the distance I think is around 147,000 square kilometers. I think. Okay, let me check. All right, so let's see. Give me 1 second. So Cox Bazar, uh, okay, so it's actually around 155 kilometers. Okay, 155 kilometers. That's the total length of the sea beach. Yep.
Oh,
So that's how long it is. So this
yes.
actually, this sea beach kind of covers the entirety of South Bangladesh. You could
Yes.
say that way. So it's actually quite a long sea beach, right? So in total, it's a distance of 155 kilometers in total distance.
Oh,
So you could say almost it covers like the entirety of this like of South Bangladesh. That's how long
oh,
it is. The sea beach.
so long.
Yeah.
Very long.
So yeah, it holds a record for being the world's
Yeah.
longest beach. That's the record we have. Yeah, and so when I was younger, like I started swimming at a very early age,
Yes.
and by the time I was 4 or 5 years old, I kind of got into swimming. So first
Yes.
on streams, then canals, then on ponds, then rivers, and so on. And right
Yes.
now, I have no issues even swimming in the seas as well. So I've swam in
Yeah.
the Bay of Bengal, which is kind of in the Cox's Bazar, and
Yes.
you know I was not frightened or scared of it. I like it didn't phase me. I wasn't
Yeah.
bothered by the waves, the sea waves. So like
Yeah.
since I had the experience, I'm not afraid of swimming in the oceans or the seas. But you have to be careful about the tides. So there's a thing called there's a low tide and the high tide. All right. So this high and low tide. So because of the like our Earth and Moon's gravitational pull, sometimes we have the high tide and other times we have the low tide. All right.
Yes.
So be careful not to swim, during the low tide. It's much more risky. All right, because if you swim during the low tides, the tides could actually pull you towards the ocean.
Yes.
So it's very risky. All right, so you can check this out. So like this. So low tide and high tide. All right. Yep. Or it's okay. Yep. So example, the high tides will actually kind of push you towards the shores. All right.
Yes.
The high tides will push it towards the shore. So if you know how to swim, it's not a big problem. But yes, if there is somebody who doesn't not know how to swim, it can be fatal because they could drown during the high tides. All right, and then whereas in the low tides is actually dangerous for like it's a danger for everybody because
Yes.
when there's a low tide, the water actually decreases from the shoreline and it pulls you towards the seas and oceans. And you could be dragged, way far into the ocean. And that's something that you don't want to be faced against. So
Yes.
it's always advisable to never swim during the low tides. Okay? And
Yes.
this low tides and high tides, they happen due to you could say our Earth's gravitational pull, and also the moon's gravitational pull. That's the reason we have them. Okay,
Oh, yes.
so yeah, and that's why when I go like in towards the sea, I'm mindful of the tides. About the heights and the low tides. So yeah, always always be mindful of that when you go towards the seas.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So yeah, like on rivers and on canals and on ponds, these are not
Yeah.
like all that they're not too impactful or not felt that much.
Yes.
But when you go to the seas and oceans, that's when you actually feel those tides, the high tide and the
yes,
low tide. You can feel them much more in the
yes,
oceans and the seas. Yeah. So yep, um, we've talked a lot. We've said many things. Yeah.
yes,
And I think you must be hungry once again. It's time for your lunch.
yes, exactly. Yes.
As usual, you must be hungry.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
have you the breakfast?
Yeah. I had my breakfast about
Uh,
2 hours ago. About 2 hours ago, I
yes,
had my breakfast, and after this session, I will prepare my lunch and then have it.
yes. Oh, yes,
So I'm going to cook probably pumpkin and bitter gourd. So I'll cook, like let's say two dishes. All right.
yes,
So one is the pumpkin like you can say gravy or curry, and the other probably the bitter gourd with
yes.
maybe some dry fish, the dried fish, and shrimp paste, a mixture of that. So it's
Oh,
like
yes,
our like you say local cuisine of sorts, like our traditional cuisine. I'm going to prepare that for lunch.
yes.
Okay. So do you know how to cook?
Oh, I can cook some simple
Simple like meals or dishes.
meal. Yes,
Like what? Frying eggs, frying potatoes, and then something like that.
yes, yes.
Okay.
Fried eggs, fried potato. Yes,
How about cooking much more complex, let's say, items or food? Like, can you
uh,
cook fish, chicken, like pork or some other, food items? Are you
oh,
good with them?
my mom will cook that.
Okay, okay. But I think since you're an adult now,
Yes,
you should learn to cook on your own.
yes,
So yeah, I know you're busy with your jobs and like full time like employee, right?
yes,
So you're busy
yes,
with like working with your jobs. But so sometimes when you're free at home, just
yes,
watch how your mother cooks. So you can
yes,
just learn from the way she cooks, like
yes,
observe and see
yes,
how it happens. Like
yes,
the things which are used. For example, from using of onions, then
yes,
ginger, garlic, turmeric powder, salt.
yes,
Then if you talk about, let's say, then like putting in those pepper. All right, so all other ingredients. Okay, spices.
yes,
So what is
yes,
the spices, right? And like how you mix them and how it's kind of seasoned and kind of properly cooked. Okay, so
yes,
when you observe for maybe like a few times, you'll get the hang of it and you understand how like food is cooked or prepared. All right, it'll help you out with that.
yes.
So I think yep, I learned through trial and error. All right. So the first time when I cooked, it was quite salty. I put too much
Oh,
salt. Okay.
yes,
But through trial and error, I learned how to kind of cook, and now I can cook. You could say almost any kinds of food, like especially the common ones like chicken, fish, pork, beef, or any other kind of veg or meat products. I can cook them. So yeah,
yes,
I've learned through like experience. That's fine.
yes.
Okay. Yep. I won't keep you much longer. Uh, is there anything you'd like to say before we end the session?
Oh, I don't have any questions.
Okay, no questions for
Yes,
today's session.
yes,
All right, then in that case, let's conclude here for today,
yes.
and I shall see you again on
Uh,
Tuesday, right?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yes,
I shall see you again Tuesday. All right, all the best with your trip to Ho Chi Minh City.
yes,
Go and see the tower. Kind of
yes,
enjoy your trip,
yes.
and take care. And I'll see you again on Tuesday.
Yes, thank you, teacher.
Yep,
See you on Tuesday,
see you
and
Tuesday.
I will create
Great.
the project and
Yep.
invite you.
Okay, okay, sure.